Fellow Nigerians, the Supreme Court of Nigeria removed a certificate forger from office in Bayelsa State of Nigeria. And you that attended higher institutions that have been searching for job for the past 7 years, you rushed to the street to protest that the certificate forger must remain in office. Somebody who forged certificates in contravention of our section 182 of the 1999 Nigerian Constitution. Even if which they worry yourself, you know they worry which back. When you protested, did the children of David Lion join you? Did the children of Adams Oshomole join you? Did the children of Degi something, his name, did they protest with you? I do not know which name to call him, because his names are 5 in 5 different certificates obtained in 1976, 1984, 1990, 2002, and 2019. All different names. Coincidentally, I also finished primary school in 1976. My result from there to now, certificates, the same names. This same person is a senator making laws for Nigerians. Go to the Senate. Many of them shouting, "Nay, yay!" They're in the Senate. All of them, most of them have NECO certificate. NECO. Some are forged NECO certificates, making laws for professors and PhD holders and undergraduates, making laws for us. We are protesting that certificate forger should remain in office. Even the Henry Dixon, that is the outgoing governor, what has he done on ground to show for 8 years in office in a small and very rich state like Bayelsa? Timi President looted you dry. Then Prayer Lemesega looted you dry and let us escape from London dressed like a woman. Even your Jonathan Goodluck that was president from Bayelsa State, is there any sign that he did anything for Bayelsa or his Otoke village? When will you people stop deceiving yourselves? They run government as if it is a mystery. What is the big deal about turning public wealth into public good? What is the mystery? When will you grow up and ask yourselves why a governor cannot transform a state that has a population of 1.7 million persons and a size of just 10,773 square kilometers? We cannot transform such a state to be like Little London. That is what should be bothering you. Instead, you fix your brains on APC and PDP, which are just the same 6.5 dozen, decamping, camping, and crisscrossing. Where have they taken you or taken Nigeria as a country? If the lion, David Lion that you are supporting today, crosses to APC tomorrow, you all will cross and join him. Why? Because you have no political ideology. If there is a state that should be a model of a developed country within a country in Nigeria, it should be Bayelsa State, followed by Delta State. Why are you not asking your governors and local government chairpersons questions about how they are spending your money? All you say is, "I remain loyal to your oppressors." You destroy properties. Now the government will rebuild or replace what you destroyed, and they will inflate the cost of how much was spent from your money that ought to have been spent on the next developmental project. If something happens now, for example, yes, and the governor you protested against is also removed and replaced with your preferred candidate, will you pay for what you destroyed? You are free to protest, but why destroy your properties? That is our concern. Buhari called you lazy, and you continue to show it by supporting irresponsible and irresponsive government. And the National Association of Nigerian Students, you have to wake up. You are too quiet about many things happening in Nigeria. Somebody will forge certificates and is making laws for you, and you are in school working to get a genuine certificate, and you keep silent. Those ones will not come up with a law that they cannot pay lecturers. Your lecturers will go home, and you also pack from the school and go home. on strike in the name of ASU strike or other forms of strike. You are keeping silent of certificate forgers. Now, by essence, you allowed the national chairman of the All Progressive Congress, APC, a non-terrorist organization, parading as a political party, to incite you with a statement. A party that releases captured Boko Haram terrorists that have killed soldiers and civilians back into the society is a terrorist-friendly ruling party. Oshomole categorically declared that nobody must be sworn in as governor against his terrorist APC party candidate that continue to superintend over the killing of Nigerians. Against their 2015 campaign promises to end terrorism in our country. Oshomole said that there will be no government in Bayelsa. And you listen to Adams Oshomole, a former activist turned dictator, poured into the street shouting, "No lion, no Bayelsa, no lion, no Bayelsa, no lion, no Bayelsa." How did the previous governors of Bayelsa State improve your lives? We all saw what the terrorist APC party did when they burnt a woman, Salome Abu, alive in Kogi State in the name of elections. They also burnt down the secretariat of the challenging political party, the Social Democratic Party. Now in Bayelsa, they are burnt part of the secretariat of the People's Democratic Party and destroyed public properties. What else is terrorism in the government that promised change? Bayelsans, wake up! Wake up! You were dancing when Timaya sang, "Them kill my mama, they kill my papa." Dancing. What did they dance for? Now every music night that they dance. Some music that to make you think your life. 20th November 1999, Obasanjo government sent soldiers, go kill hundreds of our people for OD, Bayelsa State, born in our village. Timaya, you use and sing, when I come begin dance. Which kind of dance be that? Like joke matter, say they kill your papa, they kill your mama. That the same dance when I say they dance till today for the same politicians when they destroy our country and in our state. With all of our oil and money, now not fit ask our governor or local government chairman question. But when somebody just come and say, okay, they tell us, okay, make we divide Nigeria today, when I go begin job like cricket, they follow them. What be Nigeria the problem? Like the politicians. Make we face them. And we, the people, our silence too long. That's the problem we will get now. Now you listen to Adams Oshomole, who said that the Supreme Court verdict must not hold. Somebody that did not attend university, a semi-literate, is now a self-acclaimed Chief Justice of Nigeria, declaring that there will be no government in Bayelsa. As a leader, Oshomole must be taught to be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to anger. The same Oshomole who became governor on the 20th day of March 2008 because the court removed Osereme Osumbo and declared Oshomole as governor. Immediately Adams Oshomole said that nobody will be sworn in as Bayelsa governor. You started hearing the echo of his voice that year when he told the widow in Benin City in the year 2013 to go and die, go and die. Go and die. You decided to go and die for politicians that have brought hardship and insecurity to our country. Oshomole's statement caused a revolution in Bayelsa State. We expect the State Security Service to arrest Adams Oshomole for treasonable felony, for disturbing public peace, inciting public disorder, and causing the destruction of properties with his misguided statements. His utterances and actions were clear attempts to overthrow a democratically elected government of Bayelsa State. When Omoyele Sowore in 2019 called for a peaceful protest to challenge the hardship and insecurity imposed on Nigerians by the APC government, the same problems we are still experiencing today as a people. The same Oshomole came out. The same Oshomole came out and he said that Sowore wanted to get power through the back door after losing the 2019 presidential election. So if there is a peaceful protest or revolution, does it mean that Sowore would have automatically become president? Is that how it works? You see, that is how they mislead people with callous utterances so that people will be afraid to speak. And that is why immediately the issue of Sowore came up. They instigated the National Assembly to come up with their obnoxious law, anti-social media bill law, so that Nigerians don't speak. Even when things are difficult, even when they are dying, they should not talk. Now the same Adams Oshiomhole, after losing election in Bayelsa State due to shameful forgery, wants to take power, not through the back door, but by bringing down the entire roof of Bayelsa State. Persons like Rochas Okorocha accused Oshiomhole of collecting huge amounts of money from aspirants under APC. So if Oshiomhole has collected money from David Lion and is afraid that the guy could come back asking for a refund, why destroy an entire state? He failed his party in Rivers and Zamfara State. Now he has failed in Bayelsa State due to his gra-gra philosophy of politics. Instead of formulating concrete strategies on how to ensure proper screening of candidates and avoid selection in place of election, you are there attacking the respected institution of our country. That is how the same APC government supervised the DSS to invade the High Court of Justice by harassing and arresting Omoyele Sowore in court. There are strong allegations that the same Adams Oshiomhole was behind the use of the DSS to invade the National Assembly in 2018. They swept it under the carpet. Oshiomhole should gallantly and quietly resign or be removed by his party for disastrous failures. They should even leave him because their failure is our success. They should leave him there so that he will continue to mess around. Oshiomhole is inciting the children of other people to go and die when his children are enjoying at home. As a former activist, his character changed when he started to taste power and money. He has become so arrogant and pompous. He immediately became APC chairman. He started fighting stakeholders in the party. People like Ngige, Rochas Okorocha. I don't even like to mention Rochas Okorocha because that one on his own. That one on his own ruined Imo State. Oshiomhole started to have problems with major stakeholders. The same Oshiomhole that fought Tony Aneni and others for Godfatherism. Now it's worse than Tony Aneni. It's one man mantra. It's now history. He used all that rhetorics to lie, to deceive the people. Chameleonic. The chameleonic Oshiomhole. It behaves as if Edo State did not produce governors before him. Now he wants to be the first and the last, using his brief stature to intimidate everybody. He became a sponsor of violence, empowering courtesan and thuggery. During the 2019 elections, 150 youths from Edo State were arrested on their way to cause havoc in the Akwa Ibom elections. They openly confessed that Oshiomhole was a remote sponsor of their trip. Those boys were secretly released by the police. And it is very shameful that till date, the Nigerian media did not announce it. Why? Because some people ordered for their release. People on top, or guy at the top. Under the Nigerian Labour Congress, Adams initiated collective unionism. He negotiated collective unionism for personal aggrandizement and benefits. Adams Oshiomhole reminds me of Shakespeare's book titled Measure for Measure. Yes, Measure for Measure. And in the words of Shakespeare, but man, proud man, dressed in a little brief authority, most ignorant of what is most assured, His glassy essence, like an angry ape, plays such fantastic tricks before high heaven as makes the angels weep, who with our spleens would all themselves laugh mortal. Nigerian politicians continue to do things the opposite way, as if they are cursed. In developed countries, you do not know that voting is going on until you get to the venue. In our case, we turn election into war because some common thieves, supported by selfish and senseless thugs, are supporting them. These same politicians will come abroad and pretend, behaving well as if they are normal people. But when they go home, they become agberos. They even come here to lie that all is well in Nigeria. In fact, we need a law in Nigeria where a political party must pay a fine of at least 5 billion naira or be deregistered whenever they protest, they organize any form of protest against the sacrosanct judgment of the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the land. That was the same nonsense that PDP did by protesting against the Supreme Court verdict in Imo State. Their case was a bit better because it was not violent. Well, now, they have all seen that Major General Muhammadu Buhari retired, does not respect court orders. Therefore, they are learning from him not to respect court orders, so that will become a tradition in Nigeria. God forbid. Little wonder Buhari was booed in Borno State, and his bootlickers and so-called image makers started to say that those that booed him were hired. Come on. We saw them lining the streets, young men, boys and girls, children, old ones, all of them, they were on the street, booing him because they were tired. They are tired of this kind of killing. They are tired of the drenching of the land in blood. And somebody from somewhere working for Esnara and Kobo just said that those people, they were sponsored. Shame. Some people just lie without shame, without the fear of God. But they carry Bible in one hand, they carry Quran in another hand. It was good. Because the North, they are now waking up. Just the way Buhari blamed leaders of Borno State for allowing terrorists to kill people, that is how Oshomole is blaming the Supreme Court for dispensing justice. But the same Oshomole forgot how he came into power. He forgot. He celebrated when the Supreme Court removed a PDP governor in Imo State and replaced him with the candidate of APC. You are called a national chairman of the so-called ruling party. All you are fighting for is your pocket because you are being escorted by police officers. When Nigerians are hungry, angry, and being kidnapped and killed, APC lied to us. Is this the change you promised? Our country is drenched in blood. Children beg for bread. Children go to bed hungry. Instead of employment, you now use our youths as thugs. In your time, Nigerians are now very angry at our country. Those so blessed, you turned us to be the worst in everything and a mockery of the world. The good news is that all the lies that the next presidential candidate of APC will tell Nigerians, they have all been told by Muhammadu Buhari and Lai Mohammed. There's nothing more to add. APC came with Buhari, and Buhari will flush away with APC. Northerners have ruled Nigeria for the longest number of years. Yet 87% of Nigeria's poor are in the north. They are least secured, least educated. Their leaders caged them and blinded them with religion and tribalism. That is why Jigawa State will build 95 mosques with poor schools and lack of efficient hospitals. That is why Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje of APC will buy bread, milk and sugar for youths to sell as empowerment program. That is why their governors will buy wheelbarrows and oranges for youths to hawk, selling oranges with the poster of the governor pasted on the wheelbarrow. We did do that to their children. Our leaders are not just greedy, they are wicked. They are wicked. The religious leaders and the educated ones in the north must stand up and tell the people the truth. They apply Sharia law as punishment only for the poor that steal goods and commit adultery, while politicians who loot in billions and put them in poverty, they escape Sharia law. They donate place to children, place with the same color. They donate place for children to beg. They use our children as suicide bombers. They use our children to vote as underage voters, so that unconsciously they will vote in the continuation of the oppressors. Fellow Nigerians, we have a common enemy, the politicians. Our problem is not the North, it's our politicians. It is not the Igbo man, it's our politicians. It's not the Yoruba man, it's our politicians. Our problem is not about tribe, region, or religion. Our problem is Nigerian politicians and the people that are enslaving Nigerians today, so to speak, the neo-colonialists. They are less than 5,000. If we could speak with one voice and we remove the colonialists and fought for independence, why can we as a people not speak with one voice and remove these neo-colonialists, these new canker-worms that are less than 5,000? Why can't we remove 5,000 caterpillars from our midst? We start to hate and insult ourselves when we know who our enemies are, the Nigerian politicians. No tribe can free itself from the present chaos of Nigeria now, unless we cooperate. We need a revolution that will remove terrorism and poverty from our midst. When we say Fulani, it is not all Fulanis that are terrorists. We must not totally condemn a tribe. Terrorism is a sect, a group of persons, and most of them are Fulanis. Yes, agreed. But not all Fulanis are terrorists. We need the non-terrorists among them and the Muslims to join us, the rest of us, to fight a common enemy. Nigerian Muslims, for how long will you be silent when a few misguided persons continue to give Islam a bad name and misinterpret the Quran? You told us that Islam is a religion of peace. We believe you. Why don't you show it to us? By removing these ones from your midst, by cooperating with us. Let's put our religion aside. Whether you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, you're a Buddhist, pagan, whatever, traditionalist, we must come together and fight as one people. Just the way our people fought for independence. We must fight for a second Nigerian independence from our neo-colonialists. These caterpillars, they must go. They must go. The speeches I am making now, most of them will be translated into Hausa and Fula for them to understand and to join us. It will not end on YouTube. For anybody killed, we must ask our governors to account for the monthly security votes, which many of them are stealing. Theodore Orji, former governor of Abia State alone, stole 48 billion meant for security votes. Now, if they begin to kill people in Abia State, you say, let us divide Nigeria, where you did not ask your governor how he spent money meant for your security. If anybody kills anybody in your village, act immediately by doing the needful. Do to them what is traditional and lawful. Revolution without ammunition. In the north, hundreds of women now sleep on the streets of Maiduguri. The men stay back to work in their farms in the villages, but for the sake of safety, they ask their wives and children to go to Maiduguri, and they have nowhere to stay in Maiduguri. They now sleep on the street. Tuko Buratai is the chief of army staff. He's from Borno State. Is Borno State safe today? No. No. The National Security Advisor, Mohammed Babagana Mongono, a retired army general, major general, is also from Borno State. Is Borno State safe today? No. When Buhari paid the condolence visit, one of those rare visits to the palace of the Shehu of Borno, we saw the National Security Advisor sleeping. Such a person will leave a meeting, enter the car, siren will be blowing him, like the siren you are hearing now. And you say an important person is passing. He was sleeping. Chairman, Senior Committee on Defense, Abubakar Kyari, is from Borno State. Is Borno State safe today? If these ones that are in charge of security in Nigeria cannot help their families and friends in Borno State, wallahi talai, they cannot help They cannot protect Nigerians. That is a fact. That's the basic logic. Because they do not know that the current war against terrorism is not a battle you fight or land. They just clean our soldiers. This is an area battle where you use you use the air to begin to pick out terrorists from wherever they are, night and day, especially during the night. You pick them out from the air. But this land carrying AK-47 with people that are carrying, come on, no. Do these security officers, do they not know that? Where are the huge billions of naira they are budgeting for security? Where is the money? Where is the money? They are wasting our soldiers to die when they are supposed to be flying in the air and plucking out terrorists. When Northerners protest, they do it with all seriousness. That is why we need them. We need them. We cannot begin to divide ourselves because of tribe, religion, and all that. Our strength lies in our diversity. We must not remain silent at the current killing going on in our country. Buhari is confused. He has no plan, he has no agenda. Their agenda is against us, not for us. On Valentine's Day, the 14th day of February 2020, something happened in a little community belonging to the Fulanis and Muslims. They were preparing to pray. And that's why I'm telling you that not all Fulanis are terrorists. Because they are killing many of them in the north. On that day, that black day, in the Fulani community known as Sawan, in Batsari local government area of Katsina State, Buhari State, terrorists entered and they killed more than 30 persons. I beg your pardon. They killed more than 30 persons. They burned their houses. And when the houses were burning, they snatched children, infants, from their mothers and threw them into the fire. Into the fire. Governor Aminu Masari visited the community and he told the people that it was an act of divine providence. What a way to console people. The same Masari who during the 2019 election campaign boasted that the only person that can win Buhari in the election will need to come from the moon. Here we are with your Buhari. Is this your agenda? With all of this, Buhari is jetting out to the United Kingdom to rest for another 20 days when his roof is on fire. His Excellency, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Here we are. He's going to the UK, another country built and secured by the wise policies of normal politicians. But he's running away from his country. And it's not giving an account to Nigerians how much all this costs, all these things is curing him and all that. Parking our jet there with his entourage. Since how many days he has been going there? More than 200 days. He has not accounted to Nigeria and he's fighting corruption. The only thing that has improved in Nigeria since 2015 is the health of Muhammadu Buhari. And that is why I'm saying that our problem is not our tribe. It is a failed government. We must stop hating ourselves. Because we are not the cause of our national problems, though we are too silent for too long. We cannot use hate to cure hate. A government that cannot provide security and welfare according to our constitution is completely useless. Useless. We must put our differences aside and save ourselves. We need more of regional policing. We need our country, Nigeria, to be restructured. Now, if you think that the problems we have today will get worse and we now have a situation where you now have your separate country, come on. I strongly doubt. You could even be killed tomorrow because for now, tomorrow is not a promise in Nigeria. Nigerians must learn to vote for individuals with capacity, not based on political party, religion, or region. APC and PDP brought our country to the mess we have found ourselves. Today, we have governance by terror, governance by horror, and governance by error. Fellow Nigerians, hold on tight. All our present problems caused by extremely poor leadership will surely pass away with our eyes. And with our eyes, we shall see the end of the wicked. Please, we encourage you to click on the subscribe button under this video now in order to receive regular updates from us. In the next video, I will shock you. I will show you how federal legislators are involved in kidnapping in Nigeria, right on this channel. Next video. In this channel, we don't do propaganda. We research, investigate, and confirm. The Global Coalition for Security and Democracy in Nigeria is fully set to build a Nigeria where our rights and privileges as a people are respected to the fullest. A country where evil and greedy politicians will have no hiding place. Thank you.